When Magdalena Thiessen moved from her native Poland to Bellingham in 2009, she had the courage to follow her heart. She met and fell in love with a man from Whatcom County and moved over 5,000 miles away from her family, friends, and the culture and food that is so central to daily life. It could have been an isolating experience, but Magdalena is a woman of action. She opened a bistro. We were able to talk with her just before the lunch rush in her small, easygoing restaurant located in Fairhaven.
When I came here, after 6 months, I opened this restaurant just because I was missing for food. I just needed to have connection with people. I can tell you there was a lot of tears above my plates, food of, pierogi or some soups, because for a lot of people this food brings them their memory home. So
home is always in the atmosphere. From the pierogi, crepes, and occasional borscht that are served at Magdalena's Creperie, to the constantly rotating group of diners that fill the venue. Many are from the Slavic community here in Whatcom County. This includes people from Poland and Ukraine, two separate countries who share a border with each other, as well as with Russia.
I mean, I'm not Ukrainian, but my grandparents, they were born there. That was Poland at that time. And the closest friends, they are Ukrainian. My employees, it's from Ukraine, and she has still family there. We feel like brothers and sisters. Our difficult history, I think, brought us together, because there was a time Poland didn't exist on the map, and it was the same with Ukraine.
This region is no stranger to conflict and invasion. In fact, one of Magdalena's workers, Margarita Tokchanyuk, also known as Margot, started her journey to Bellingham after escaping the Russian invasion of her native Crimea.
So I moved to the United States 6 years ago, and I actually moved here because my family was in Crimea when occupation happened. So it was the first call for us. And so a couple months after occupation happened, we had to move out from Crimea. I ended up in Poland, and then I ended up here. But I still have family in Ukraine. I still have my grandma, my aunt, and my cousin. They live 30-40 miles away from Kyiv. My brother family left Ukraine 30 minutes before the officially war was announced. Yes,
yeah.
yes,
3:45 a.m.
Yeah.
Here.
Yep. So, but they're alive. So that's good to know. They're hiding from the bombs right now because they're shooting them everywhere. They're supposed to have this delegation meeting with Russia, but they're not stopping bombing. They're not stopping bombing at all. A pretty big amount of Slavic immigrants, Whatcom County, Sketchet County, but in my own experience, a lot of those people, a lot of Slavic people who immigrated to the United States, they immigrated during Soviet Union time, but people continue believing that everything what's going on in Ukraine, it's not the war. They believe, as someone told my mom, her friends, they told, I don't think we need to help. All what they need, they just need to get peace between them. So unfortunately, a lot of Slavic people still on Russian propaganda, which has to be cut off. It's a full-scale war. Everything is bombing. All the places where I used to go, where I used to hanging out with my friends, with my family, especially Kyiv, all those streets, all those buildings, they don't exist. They literally wiped off with the bombing. And a couple of the other cities, which was pretty important for my childhood, they gone.
The citizens of Ukraine have been hit heavily by unrelenting bombing, and while it might seem hopeless to try to help from 6,000 miles away, Magdalena couldn't just sit and watch. After speaking with family members abroad, she activated the community here through the only channel she could think of: social media. She posted an announcement on Facebook, hoping to collect a few essential items and send them to where they're so desperately needed.
We need a lot of medical supplies, first need, and so people bring in a lot of them. And I spoke with my brother today. He spoke with some people in Ukraine, and so what really the people need now, it's medical supplies. Medical supplies, they're getting shorter and shorter on it.
Now, ibuprofen, bandages, anything like Pampers.
I also heard that Ukraine really needs those special mixtures for the babies.
Oh yeah, they're like a powder.
Yes, that is important because a lot of mothers, they lose milk because of the stress, and so they're trying to find a way how to support, and those mixtures that would be Like, it's really needed.
There are so many these innocent people that they need help. I hear from Polish organization then also helping to bring animals to Poland. The response is amazing. It's amazing. And I cannot even imagine what we could do without social media, Facebook and Instagram. I was yesterday a few hours and I just announced what we're doing, and then people start to come, and I was like crying seeing those people, because there was like, oh my gosh, it's already happening, they're coming.
If all this seems like a lot of extra work for a woman with a family and a business, it is. But Magdalena sees the benefits.
People give you power. You customers, if they're coming, like if you have busy day, you could be tired, but there is like another side of that. You are happy, you feel like you know why you're doing this. Same it's with, these things what happening, like extra fuel for us, and some hope in the human being.
Many Whatcom County locals who have donated medical supplies, food, and money are regular customers of Magdalena's Creperie. Some are members of the Whatcom County Ukrainian community, and others are people who just want to help.
My name is Jacqueline Sterna, and I live in Whatcom County. I follow Magdalena's Creperie on Instagram, and I saw her post a list for need, and my family wanted to respond in what ways that we could, either with pressuring our elected officials to do the right thing to support Ukraine, or by donating and giving whatever items are needed. My relatives left that area about 100 years ago due to this type of conflict. My grandfather didn't give us the languages. He wanted us to be American and to assimilate, but I still feel just a sense of care and compassion for the people who are being displaced. We're happy to do what we can. I just fear that it's not enough.
Much work has been done, but right now there is more needed. Magdalena knows it's a challenge, but the work is once again helping her feel connected, this time to the home she left behind.
We are involved in shopping, organizing. It's just like warm your heart. You feel like you're really doing something. And also, I just today text a few people. They will come and help us organize, put the packages all together and prepare for sending. Because like at that moment, it's 500,000 refugees, and this is only just a week. So, and these people still coming.
Many people have surprised Magdalena and Margot, and many more in the local community want to help but don't know where to start.
Sometimes money doesn't feel like you're doing something, but of course that's probably right now the easiest way.
People in Bellingham, they want to help, but they don't know how. A lot of those organizations, they're European-based, and sometimes it might be challenging to transfer money, as I had this situation. So I would recommend people just follow us on Facebook and Instagram. So I believe we will continue giving the most current information to people, and I think it would be a good opportunity for someone.
Good resource of the information, and of course kind of the most present, because we just all the time, our heads and eyes, they are in the news.
While the worry continues and the war rages on, Magdalena and Margot are in this for the duration. There is already talk of additional shipments to be collected and boxed and sent. But the most important thing they will be sending from Bellingham to the people of Ukraine, along with money, food, and supplies, is connection and hope.
The hope is to have peace, and not have any other crazy person that you will afraid about your life. Peace and health. That's the most important thing. Other things we can figure out.
To find out what's happening in Ukraine straight from sources who are there, or to donate food, supplies, or money, follow Magdalena's Creperie on Facebook or go to magdalenascreperie.com.